Hi everybody, it's JeffThe420Chef and welcome back to part 2 of my LEVO unboxing and demo. Today we're going to do the demo. I'm going to show you how to use this beautiful oil infuser. It looks just like a coffee machine, fits great on any kitchen counter, and it's really simple to use. And what I love about this specific machine, as opposed to all the other butter makers in the industry, is that this is the only butter or oil infuser that does not grind your bud into your butter or oil. When you grind your bud into your butter or oil, you get basically the keef and all the plant matter, dust, etc. mixed into your butter and oil. Then you have to strain it through cheesecloth and a strainer, and no matter how hard you try, you cannot get out that herbaceous, danky taste. So the first thing I did was invent how to take that taste out of your cannabis for the most part, right? So you're going to soak it in distilled water for a few days, and then you're going to blanch it and then dry it and decarb it as per my process. But then once you've got all this beautiful pre-dried and pre-decarb bud ready to go, you don't want to grind it into your butter or oil. It's just going to make your butter or oil taste bad because you're going to be putting plant matter into that. So this is the first machine that doesn't actually grind it. What's beautiful about it is that it steeps it, and I'm going to show you how. So for starters, let's get going with turning it on. So here you just push the on button, slide it down, and voila, magic. Now the next thing is you want to open the reservoir. So it's very easy to open like this. However, when it's infusing, or if you don't want the little kids to get into it, right, all you have to do is push this lock button here. And if you can hear that, but it's locking it, and now it's impossible to open. So if you notice the other day I was trying to open it, I couldn't open it, couldn't figure out how to do it. I had to turn it on first and turn and unlock it. So now you just turn the unlock off, and you're ready to go. All right, now the next really cool part is this little infusion pod. Now what you do with this is you're going to put your herb into the pod, all right? I'm just using a little shovel to make it easier so I don't make a mess all over the place. Just gently put it in there. Okay, and now it's all filled, and then you're going to cover it. Now make sure that the little teardrop is facing opposite this little yellow bar, because this little yellow bar has to go into the machine right opposite where it says place pod here. And there's a little thing over here that says place pod here, which you can't really see. So we just put it there, and we attach it with the magnet. Now the next thing is, it has this little mixer, right? You just put this in the center, right? There's a little spot for it. It's a magnet, so it's going to sit there. And what's going to happen is it's going to swirl around with the oil. LEVO suggests that you use no less than 5 ounces of oil. So today we're using 5 ounces of coconut oil, and we're going to be infusing into this coconut oil 4.1 final grams of pre-dried, pre-decarb cannabis. Now that started out at 7 grams, but after processing it was only 4.1 grams. All right, so keep that in mind when we look for potency later to see just how potent our can oil is. And we're also going to be using this little baby here, the T-check, to test just how potent it is throughout the process. So I'm going to do it at 1 hour, at 2 hours, and at 3 hours, and we're going to see whether or not the potency changes over that time. You can leave this LEVO on up to 10 hours, but my process specifically only takes 3 hours, and I want to see just how potent this can of oil is going to be after 3 hours using my pre-cleaned and pre-decarb bud. All right, so let's get started here. We're going to now add 5 ounces of coconut oil, and I melted that down. Okay, now we're going to just close it. We're going to lock it. You don't really have to lock it. It'll lock by itself when you turn it on, but we're going to lock it anyway. Okay, now that it's locked, we're going to choose the temperature. Now, since I typically infuse into with boiling water surrounding the French press, that's 212 degrees. LEVO only goes up to 200, which is the perfect temperature for infusing. All right, so let's bring this up to 200. If you can see that, a little more, 200 degrees, and then let's set the timer. And for the timer, we're going to set it for 3 hours, but we're going to take it out and check it after 1 hour. But we'll stop it. Oops, need a little more than 3 hours, so we're going to go down, bring it back down to 3 hours. Now it's at 3 hours, all right? And now we are just going to push start. And it says infusing, and that's it. So now we're going to let the cannabis infuse into the oil for 3 hours. Like I said, we're going to check it every hour, the second hour, and then the third hour, and we're going to test the potency, and we're going to tell you just how potent it is according to the T-Check, which is another one of my favorite machines. Have a great one. Until we test it, enjoy yourself and have fun.